So let me set the scene for you here. You've been grinding all week, late nights, early mornings. You've just landed that new client. Everything is just going great. So you pour yourself that first drink and you think, I deserve this. But what if that reward is not actually a reward? What if it's the reason that you feel stuck, sick, anxious, and just completely off your game? We all know that alcohol isn't really our friend, but we do it anyway, and we like to convince ourselves otherwise. And here is the slightly scary and insidious thing. What if it's not rewarding you, but instead of rewarding you, it's actually rewiring you? So who am I? I'm Dan Hunter. I stopped drinking in 2017, haven't drunk since, and I help guys and girls just like you get control of their problem drinking. Over the last 8 years, I've helped hundreds of people. I've developed a pretty tight system now for helping reframe the way you see alcohol and take your life back. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, book a call with me below. No hard sell. We'll have a half an hour conversation, talk about what it is you do and don't need. If there's a synergy there, then great, we'll work together. If not, no problem. I can send you away with some things to help you get started on your own. This whole reward thinking is a bit like a seductive trap almost. And the thing is, you're not weak, you're not broken. You've just kind of been given the wrong script and the wrong way of looking at things. So let me tell you about somebody that I know that I've worked with. We'll call him Paul. Paul runs a construction firm in Minnesota. They did like $2.5 million in revenue last year. Every meeting, every deal, every project, there's drinking involved. They drink when they sign the paperwork, they drink when the project's complete. And his whole logic behind that was that it was a reward, and having a drink was seen as some kind of rewarding behavior for actually having done a good job, done a good deal, finished a construction project. Which, when you think about it, kind of sounds reasonable, doesn't it? I mean, I think we've all been there. We've all had a drink for rewarding ourselves, and it doesn't sound that bad on the face of it. But here's what actually happened, is those Friday nights turn into a bleary, blurry Saturday morning. The Saturday morning hangover meant that he skipped the gym, ate crap, and inevitably ended up drinking again on Saturday night. Then that Sunday anxiety creeps in, and Monday morning you're already on the back foot, and you're starting the week from a real deficit, and you've got a real hole to climb out of. So week after week, slowly, but Paul started Monday, always on the back foot. Then it turned into Monday, Tuesday, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You get the picture. And it's not because of some huge, big problem. It's just small, incremental, sneaky steps that take you to these quite dark places. And that's the trap, really, because alcohol doesn't turn up and say, haha, I'm here to ruin your life. It just whispers in your ear,
hey buddy, you deserve this.
Pretty insidious. So let me ask you something. If this reward is holding you back, is it actually a reward? Genuinely, have a think. Is it actually a reward? Because what's really going on here is you're not treating yourself. You're sort of trading short-term comfort for long-term clarity, and borrowing from tomorrow is a debt that can just never be repaid. And this belief will stick with you because you're not drinking from a place of pain necessarily. It's almost like a position of pride. What do I mean by that? I mean, you're not drinking because your life is falling apart. Well, at least I hope you're not. But in this example, you're not drinking because your life's falling apart. You're actually drinking because your life is going well, and the alcohol has been kind of fused with your reward system. So it's pride. I've earned this. I deserve this. Other people need to quit, not me. But pride is dangerous, maybe even more dangerous than actual pain, because it really clouds your judgment, and it's the slow cost of alcohol that really gets you. The foggy mornings, the lack of sleep, poor relationships, and a slow but slight drop in your presence and your performance. And the insidious thing is the pride kind of justifies the drinking. So you find yourself in a place where you don't think you're actually doing anything wrong, but that's the devil on your shoulder. Something from my own life was back in 2016. I remember being really hungover, and this is one of those pivotal moments. I felt so ill. It was a lovely summer's day. I was sat on my balcony and I could see a park opposite, and there were people running around with dogs and just having a nice time. And it was, I think it was like 11 in the morning or something. And I was sat on this balcony, just feeling like I was existing in some kind of netherworld, and it made me feel very detached from the real world, I guess, and from real people. And it was at that moment that it hit me really hard that, like, what am I doing this to myself for? Why am I doing this? That last night, it's not worth any of this. And I'm here to tell you that it's not. The other side of drinking and actually having a more kind of normal life, so the rewards are outstanding. So after that cheery thought, let's talk about something practical. What can we actually do about this? And here's the key shift. You don't remove the reward, you replace it. So whatever alcohol is taking form in your life, whenever you're using it to reward yourself, we need to pluck that out and replace it with something else. And this is what we'll work on in the program, along with a bunch of other things. But this is one of the key pillars for doing this. I mean, it's simple things like, instead of saying, oh, I deserve a drink, you can replace that with, I deserve a better me, which I know sounds quite affirmation-y, and maybe it's this kind of woo-woo stuff is not for you, but can you sort of almost see beyond that and just understand that what I'm trying to do? So rather than I deserve a drink, I mean, you don't, but do you deserve a better you? Yeah, of course, everybody deserves a better them. Also, come up with like the best version of you, something that you really want to achieve. What would you like to do? For some people, it's running a marathon. For some, it's putting their kids through college. It could be whatever. There's going to be something that is unique to you. Ideally, it should be as selfish as possible. You know, it doesn't have to involve other people, but it's what do you want to achieve? And then if you look at this kind of nebulous thing, you know, maybe it's some people want to be a billionaire, some people just want to have the love of their wife and their kids. It doesn't matter. But I guarantee you, alcohol, once you kind of put the lens of alcohol over this idealized version of what you want, I will guarantee you that it's holding you back. So we've learned that alcohol can feel like a reward, but in reality, it's actually holding you back. And it's sort of convincing you to play small. I find with my own drinking and with other people that I've worked with, their world is quite a small place and it has quite a numbing effect on them. I would imagine that you're watching this and you didn't get to where you are by just being a dummy and having yourself numbed every day. I imagine it took a lot of work, effort, energy to do that, but you've just got to a point where you're able to function in your day-to-day world with alcohol, but you're potentially hanging on by your fingertips. So don't let this reward be something that holds you back. So if you're ready to make a change and you want to get a better life for yourself, book a call with me below. There are some resources as well in the description box, but book a call with me. It'll be half an hour. We can talk about things. There's no hard sell. There's no pressure. And if it doesn't work out for you and you don't want to come in the program, then I'm very happy to just send you away with some things that will work for you. Anyway, thank you for your time, and I will see you in the next one.